Welcome to part 3 of my cabinet build from start to finish. In this video I will be working on the upper cabinets, including the upper corners. Here I have already made the cross cuts to length and the 3/4 plywood for the sides, and now begin to make the rips for the depth of the uppers. I swap out the blade for a dado stack to cut 1/2-inch dados for the tops and bottoms. Next, I add a sacrificial fence to cut 1/4-inch rabbets that will fit into the face frame for assembly. I then use a shelf pin drilling jig to drill holes for adjustable shelves. I use a jig I made to fit into the dados to get the spacing right so the holes will line up correctly. It is better to sand the sides now before assembly, as it is difficult after the boxes are built. I only sand what will be the interior side because, for the most part, the exterior sides will not be seen when the boxes are put together in final installation. Any finished sides that will show can be sanded after assembly. Next, I cut 1/4-inch rabbets on the 3 sides of the tops and bottoms I had already cut to size to make the 3/4-inch plywood fit into the 1/2-inch dados I previously cut in the sides and face frame. I then cut notches on the 2 corners of the tops and bottoms where they will fit into the face frame and assembly of the boxes. Then I cut some pine to length on the miter saw for nailers and then cut them to 2.5-inch strips. After that, I begin to assemble the boxes. I put a bead of glue in each dado, insert the top and bottom, add the sides in place, and then nail it all together. Finally, I add the nailers by gluing and nailing them in place to finish out the box. I go through the same process for the rest of the uppers until I get to the corner cabinets. I begin to get the parts ready to build the corner cabinets. The process is quite a bit more involved than the other boxes. I start by cutting a 45-degree bevel on the cabinet sides to attach to the face frame. I then get the tops and bottoms for these boxes ready by first cutting them into square panels. Next, I make measurements to mark the cuts I need to make the cabinets fit the corners of the room. When I am satisfied with how the cuts are drawn out, I proceed to make freehand cuts on the table saw. If you aren't comfortable cutting free-handed on a table saw, I would suggest you find a different way to make these cuts. I then attach the sacrificial fence and change the blade out with the dado stack to cut the 1/4 inch rabbets to fit the 1/2 inch dados in the sides and face frame. Here I notch the 2 corners with a jigsaw to fit the tops and bottoms and the dados in the face frame. Now it's time to sand before assembly. This is where I find out if the parts come together the way they were meant to. Looks like a corner cabinet to me. Now I attach the cabinets together two at a time by the face frames with screws so that I can sand them flush before I spray the finish and install them in the kitchen. Here I have to be careful not to drill for the screws where the door hinges will be mounted so they won't be in the way when I go to hang them on the walls. This is where I sand the frames flush, so when I hang them they will be flush after installation. These are the uppers before and after the finish is applied. There is no stain, just the natural color of the Naughty Older with a clear, dull rubbed pre-cut lacquer. This is the end of part 3. Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch for part 4 when I will build the base cabinet.